special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial. Let's say good morning to also those of you viewing GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20. Good morning and welcome to another edition of To The Point. I'm your host, GT. I'll be with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. Let me say good morning to those of you via social media platforms, Facebook page, YouTube channels. Good morning to you. Those of you via GBN's webpage, that's gbn.gd. Good morning to you also, and thanks for being with us this morning. Let me say good morning to my guests, starting from they always say that, ladies first. So let me say good morning to Ms. Jackie Alexis. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us this morning. Good morning. We have also have Senator Adrian Farmer with us this morning. Good morning, Senator. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, comrade, and I'm very well.
All right. Thank you so much. I think it's the first time I'm having you in studio. We've been doing this before.
Well, yes. I think it's the first time I'm speaking to you too also.
Via the issue. Yeah. So welcome once again, and nice to have you folks with us this morning. Of course, how's everybody doing? First and foremost, let's get some of the formalities out there. Everybody doing.
Go ahead, ladies first.
I can tell you I'm actually exhausted. To be perfectly honest. It's a task I really enjoy doing. I really love doing this, but it is
taking a toll on you.
Yeah, it's tiring, but I'm so looking forward to Friday.
Yes.
And if I may add to her, before I talk about myself, she's doing fantastic. She's doing a great job.
I must admit also, I've been hearing the conversation.
We are very happy to have her working with us and heading such an important, maybe the most important event that occurs in Grenada on an annual basis in Independence. What it was before and what it is, what we want to turn it into in terms of going forward is something that we're really and truly looking forward to. I'm fine. I'm doing well. I'm a little exhausted too, but there are a lot of work to be done.
You're not showing on the face.
Minister,
I'm not seeing those very popping.
Well, when you have so many caps to wear, you just have to keep switching from one to the next. I'm speaking culture. Yesterday I was talking about tourism, and today I'm here speaking about culture and independence in particular. And then at some point in time, I'll talk about the creative economy. So you just got to keep changing hats one after the other and make sure you fall in line.
All right, that's good. That is so good. Let's get the conversation rolling. Grenada is celebrating its 51st anniversary of independence. Piggybacking off of 2024. When we celebrated our 50th anniversary of independence. The memory of that is still, part of the minds of a lot of Grenadians, especially Grenadians living over the diaspora who came back and were part of that celebration. What's going to make 2025 more even better than 2050? It can't be better. You understand?
You see that?
I was just trying to get it was deemed to be a trick question.
Well,
but
I really and truly thought I was thinking that you would never ask that question because it's a lot of pressure on the committee.
I know.
It's even more pressure on the government itself. And if I may give you some inside information, when we start talking independence a couple of months ago, we were talking about maybe just a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
And then they send it to the government and go, no, we cannot stay so far away from 2024 because we have set a standard.
Yes.
We have got a lot of people in line who are not in line, and to just let them go like that, we just cannot do that. And then the government said, no, we got to lift it up a little higher. Right. So you will see them lifted higher from the last 10 years, but we just cannot surpass 2024 as yet.
I mean, the 50th is always going to stand out.
It was a big deal.
Think of anybody celebrating their 50th birthday. It's
Indeed.
That's
the point.
Anything after that is all right.
It's okay. Of course. Yeah. So we claim it nicely. So this year, I think this year going to be a very good year for us. We are trying to feature some of the activities that we had in 2024.
Yes.
I mean, some of the things that remains in people's mind. I mean, one in particular is drone shows.
Yes.
We will be having the 500 drones again. And we will not be featuring the same content per se, but we will definitely be featuring some interested.
All right. I guess that, of course, good agents will be a way to see that happen again.
Definitely.
The spectacle of that.
But we also have the fireworks.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
We have a fireworks display as well.
All right. Let's talk about some of the events that may have passed thus far for 2025, leading up to the actual day, which will be on the 7th of February. We had the Independence Monarch competition. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, we started with the semi-finals in Las Vegas, which we then brought down the what was, I think, about 40 something who had applied, submitted songs, came down to 20, and then last Saturday we had the finals in St. Patrick's, which was excellent, I have to say. I think that opening up the competition to include the soca and the groovy, whilst there were not a huge amount of them, it actually gave a different dynamic to the whole occasion. It was an excellent show. The audience was wonderful as usual. The bus terminal was completely packed to its brim, and they were so appreciative, and we were very appreciative of the presentations. All of the artists came with their A games.
All right.
And I'm very proud to say a lady won it.
Yes. And let's say congratulations to the, of course.
Congratulations to Superstar.
Yeah, Superstar.
Yeah, it was nice to see a woman take the crown this year. But all of them did really well. She held her own.
Yeah, she brought her A game.
Yeah, she absolutely did. I mean, she's a very good artist, and this is good for her, I think, and good for Carriacou.
Yeah,
and I think it's important to mention here that the police band did a fantastic job.
Yes.
Those guys was at the peak, and
sometimes they don't get that love that they should be receiving on a regular basis. Not that they don't, but it should be that love should be there.
That's very true.
Excellent in terms of their performance.
And the fact that the Calypsonians had the police band with them, that in itself gave them
lifted the whole
show, and I think it augurs well for the future in terms of the song system. There was no problem. The engineer was very, very good. It was fantastic. Everything was on point, and this is a show that we can build on. Personally, I believe that the show has outgrown it.
Yes, we've outgrown.
So we're looking 2026, a bigger venue.
We might be looking at the playing field in Ford. That might be a venue. I mean, the infrastructure, we may have to bring in quite a bit more and spend some more money, but it's something that we can promote and encourage people to really come out in the numbers and be part of it. As a matter of fact, we have to start thinking about encouraging people from the diaspora to come down for this event. I mean, it's an event that is national, and I'm sure Grenadians they would like to come for a week or two in the month of February and enjoy what we have to offer. It's a time when breadfruit is at its peak also.
Yeah.
So lots of oil will be cooking for the next couple of days,
Yeah, and you had to go there, sir, in terms of the food part of it.
Well, of course, definitely.
The food part of it. No, in terms of the celebrations and all, I mean, we're looking at lots of activities still to come. There's a lot that have gone so far still to come. What are some? Let's talk about the 7th of February. Kicking off with the parade of the parade and stuff, and of course leads to the National Stadium where we have the various speakers and so forth, dignitaries being part of it. Tell us a wee bit how that would be flowing for this year.
Well, even before the parade, we have the Trade Expo.
Yes.
Which at the last meeting we had, they reported they have 64. I won't call them vendors, I would say business people, entrepreneurs, coming to display and showcase their products, their arts and their crafts. So it looks to be a bumper occasion this year, and people always look forward to that. It's always an opportunity to go and see what we have to offer. It's all Grenadian made.
Yes.
So that's a really exciting part. So that starts from 1. And then the parade itself will start from 2:30 from Melville Street.
Let's go back to the expo a wee bit. It's always thrilled to talk about the expo, because that's where we see local businesses get the opportunity to showcase what their products. You understand that lots of folks may not have known, or they may hear, or they may see a particular item somewhere just moving around and not knowing that it's actually locally made or actually produced here in Grenada. How does it make you feel, the ministry and so forth involved, to get these businesses that are involved in this particular products and what they're producing, to get them to come to one place and showcase their products, especially around this time of the year, independence, where the patriotism and everything is at its peak in terms of what we produce here as Grenadians.
And I'm going back to the 50th anniversary. St. David had the closing ceremony.
Yes.
My brother, what I saw there inspired me to encourage the organizers in St. Louis to make sure that this is an annual event. I saw a lot of people coming out and showcasing what they have been doing. What I saw people doing with their hands, I couldn't imagine that Grenadians had that talent and ability, and without using any machinery and the skill. And the end product was so fantastic. I believe we can showcase this thing to the world and compete with the people outside there. So what I saw in St. Louis was fantastic. So any activity you're having where you're bringing people together, I think is a golden opportunity to bring all these agro-processors, these artisans, all of them together to showcase what they're doing and also to market the product. Some people reached out to me and said, Minister, I made a lot of money on that particular day, sold out. So apart from you bringing your product there, the people outside there are hungry for your product. They want your product, and therefore a lot of people who are involved in these little businesses, they are not specialized in marketing. So whenever they get those opportunities, they have the skill
stays at that point and doesn't go beyond that.
And that's the point.
It also leads to a question. I'll continue, but it also leads to a question I wanted to ask. Where does it go from there for those small businesses? Be the minister in charge of in charge of the whole thing. Where does it go beyond there for that regular Grenadian producer?
I glad you asked the question, because the Department of Creative Economy, we have a fantastic program where we train people, especially young entrepreneurs. We have a program in Tom CC where people can go and develop their skills. Not only in terms of the agro-processing and doing craft and so on, but we're also looking at the soft economy, whereby people who are involved in music, people who have studio. Just sometime in March last year, I took a tour in St. David, St. Andrew, where we were looking at some of the studios where people and calypsonians record the songs. My brother, when you enter these buildings, inside the, as I'll call them, engineer room, inside his bed, his sleeping quarters, a little table with a computer and some little gadgets, and that's where people like Lucanati and Thunder starts their recording before they go into New York or Trinidad to do the final product. Talpri brought us in a studio, and he said that's where he do his first recording before he goes out. And it's amazing. And what we have done in the creative economy is to reach out to these people and assist them. We're going to continue doing that aspect of it. So wherever you have some talent and skills in terms of the creative economy, we will reach out to you, and that is the direction we want to go, because we believe as a government that there's a lot of money to generate, a lot of employment. If you employ yourself, that is somebody the government don't have to worry about employing. And if you employ 2 or 3 people, the rippling effect, those are people that the government doesn't have to worry about employing. So in terms of going forward with all these different skills and talent, we are prepared to assist.
All right. All right. Well, of course, we drew for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we have to continue with some of the activity that will be taking place on the 7th. We certainly do that after the short break. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We will be right back.
Ready to celebrate Grenada's independence with style and pride. It's Grenada at 51 with Minister Andy Williams and the St. George's Baptist Church. The Pure Grenada Independence Concert. Grenada, you're nice. Saturday, February 8th at the Montrouge Playing Field from 6 p.m. featuring an incredible lineup of talent. Enjoy performances from the legendary Adjamo, Randy Isaacs, Sour Serpent, Rootsman Kelly, Valley Ned, and Young Song. Plus the amazing Sabrina Francis, Laura Lisa, Lion Pride Dancers, and playwright Francis Urias Peters, all backed by the KOS Band. And the best part, this concert is absolutely free. So gather your friends and family and come celebrate Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence with pride. Let's make this a night to remember.
On Sunday, February 9th, the St. Paul's Community Center will come alive with the St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza. It's an explosion of food, craft, exhibition, and art display with performances by Solid the Band, Tamara Songbird St. Bernard, Dash, Lion Pride Percussions, Japs, Jab King, Lisa McDonald, Sakina and the Alpha One Band, Conception Dance Theatre, Core Bank Comancheros, and more. All the action starts from 12 noon. It's the St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza, a production of the St. Paul Sports, Cultural and Development Organization and powered by Judah Sound System.
Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. What a country and tell.
Welcome back once again, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to my guests. Of course, we have Senator Adrian with us, and of course, Miss Jackie Alexis with us this morning. Mrs. Jackie Alexis with us this morning here on today's program. We're talking independence, Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence, and of course, we want to pick up from where we left off before the break in terms of, as Miss Jackie was, of course, explaining to us some of the events that are coming up and will be taking place come the 7th of February. She started off with the, of course, the expo. And we expanded it a wee bit with the senator popping in on it and expanding it a wee bit. So from the expo taking place, and that kicks in from, is it that taking place after the parade or before the parade starts? So that's maybe the event that kicks the whole thing off at the stadium.
It off at 1 o'clock. So
at 1 o'clock.
Starts at 1. So, you know, I mean, listen, when you go to the stadium on Friday, you need to prepare yourself to be there all day. So you get there for 1 and you know, engage in everything that's happening with the expo and stuff. And then if unlike me, you're somebody who likes to walk, you can always go down to the to Melville Street, to the barracks, and see the parade as the RGPF and all the other uniformed groups march onto the stadium.
All right.
So I know there are a lot of people who like to kind of line the streets and watch the parade and
look at the uniformity of the marching and so forth.
And I think it's fun to watch. So you can always do that and then follow them up to the stadium.
All right.
So when we get to the stadium, we're talking about a roughly 3 o'clock start, with the RGPF doing their thing.
All right. Not to the bag or to the actual the ordinary.
I can't let anything out the bag. You have to be in the stadium to see it.
All right.
And then 3:15 we'd start with the arrival of the Commissioner of Police, the Prime Minister, and then of course Governor General, and then we move into the real meat of the parade and so on, with the inspection of the the groups and so on. So that element of it would probably take us to about 4:30-ish, and then we move into the next section. So it comes in about the 4 sections. For the day. So you've got the expo, you've got the parade. The next section now would be the kind of official, if you like, the official parts of the speeches and so on. Of course, we will have an address by our Prime Minister, and everybody always wants to hear the Prime Minister speak. But we also this year have a very special guest.
Oh, sure.
We have a very, very special guest, Aliko Dangote.
Yes.
And I'm actually going to ask the Minister maybe to speak more about Mr. Dangote.
Mr. Dangote, he's a personal friend of the Prime Minister, and I by extension, I think he's fast becoming a friend of Grenadians. Somebody we look up to, and somebody that inspire not only Africans, but I think black people in the world, in regards to how he started as a humble businessman, and he has elevated himself to maybe the most wealthiest African on the face of the earth, and one of the richest in the world. So it is our pleasure to really have him and accommodate him at our independence celebration. And I mean, when I asked the Prime Minister to if he can be our guest speaker in the space of a couple minutes, the Prime Minister responded he will be happy to. He'll be happy. There was not a problem. And I was fascinated with this and to show how humble the gentleman is. And I think he's a very good guest speaker. And I think Grenadians will come out to hear him and listen to him. Even I think days after his speech has been done, I think people will be responding to it and listening to it, because what he has done in the world for the African community and what he's doing now, really and truly, it is something that we can look forward to. So it's our pleasure to really have him in Grenada, and he will be at our rally.
Okay.
We are
there's a pre-event that he's going to be part of. Is it the Fireside or something?
Well, yes, he will be tomorrow at 11 a.m., 11 to 12, the Fireside Chat at Radisson.
There's a little bit of the format of that's going to be.
Well, right. It will be, we are hoping to invite a lot of young people, because he's still a young man. I think he's still inspiring a lot of young people. So we will try to get as much of the fifth formers from the secondary schools to attend that meeting. Young businessmen in Grenada, people who are involved in businesses similar to his, they will be there. And the beauty about this Fireside Chat is that the Prime Minister will be a journalist. Yeah. he will be the guy talking to this gentleman as Prime Minister. Nowhere in the world, I mean, you really see this thing happen. Grenada is always unique, and we always lead from the front.
Always something different.
Always different. And our Prime Minister is always looking to do things in a different way, in his own way, in his own style. His mode of dress, he dressed for a purpose, and not just putting on clothes for clothes' sake, but he sends a message. And I think what he's doing there in terms of interviewing the gentleman, I think it's fantastic, and Grenadians will be looking forward to that. As I say, they will come to the function, and moons after, they will be still looking at it and talking about it. So it's something that I really and truly look forward to. And I think the world, at the end of the day, when the interview and the Fireside Chat is finished, the world will be paying attention to it.
What kind of benefit do you think that a gentleman of his nature coming to Grenada, other world leaders and individuals in other parts of the world looking on and watching that, what kind of benefit do you think could derive from that for Grenada as a whole?
Well, this is a global individual. The world knows him. He has been leading many organizations in the world. He is sitting presently on some of the world-renowned organizations. I cannot cover with all of them now at my fingertip, but wherever he goes, the world will be following him, and nobody will talk about him without saying that he's in Grenada. He was in Grenada, and that in itself, from a tourism point of view, is advertisement for us, because we try to associate ourselves with people that can sell Grenada, and I think we'll be capitalizing on that in regards to promoting Grenada as a destination. As a matter of fact, the Grenadian people, there are a lot of young businessmen that will be listening attentively to hear what he has to say, how he started, what he is doing, what is the impact on the world, and they will be questioning themselves, what can I do? How can I improve my business to get as close as possible to where this gentleman is? But he will tell you, nothing comes easy. Hard work.
I mean, most folks have gotten to that stage in their life will always tell you that it moved from one stage to the next.
Yes.
But it's a process of work.
Yes.
Not everything comes handed down to you as some folks may like it to be.
Not at all.
You understand?
So sometimes we make the mistake of praying very hard night and day without being prepared to
but you have to work with the press too.
The press doesn't go by itself. It comes with a lot of work.
I always so mature of that. You have to work with the press too. Even though you pray for something, you got to work with it also.
Well, the best way
put some
the best way to pray is to pray while you're walking.
Yeah.
Pray that success will come while you're walking. Prayers by just lying down, maybe you're dreaming, and convert that dream into a reality. And when you're converting it into a reality, it means that you are walking, you are stepping up. While you're doing that, say a word of prayer. The Lord will answer you.
I agree with you.
But there's something very special about someone who can take borrow $3,000 from their uncle and create a huge conglomerate out of it. I mean, that is...
and it's not a matter that he borrowed the money and took it by himself. He paid it back in no time at all. You understand? I mean, there are a lot of people... There are a lot of business...
That nature motivates young people also.
Of course.
Wanting to do better, do for themselves.
Rather than an individual borrow $3,000 from the bank, and the bank has to write him to pay it back, and the lawyers have to get involved because the money is not coming and your interest is going up. This is a businessman that borrowed his $3,000, paid it back in no time at all, and he has moved on.
Yeah.
And when I was reading his profile, there's one sentence that really and truly captivated me, and that sentence is, he does not believe in banking money. Puts it back into the business. Working capital. In Grenada, with due respect to my full parents, my grandmother always had a little pan under her bed. Every time she saved something in that. And when she gathers up, she run in the penny bank and cooperative those days, and she deposited that there. And she will not interfere with that money. Maybe 10, 15 years, that money is still there and it's growing. But the sensible businessman in St. George will go to the penny bank, borrow the money, and invest. And they become richer and 10 times richer than our grandparents. So being business-oriented is something that we have to instill in our people, in the minds, change the mindset.
But there's also, there's a key word that we missed. There's a discipline also.
It's a discipline.
It's a discipline. Because, you have to have that discipline of wanting to be able to do that.
Definitely.
Because you may be thinking it, but if you don't discipline yourself in order to doing it.
I fully believe that the state has a responsibility also to really instill that in people's mind, especially at a young age. We need to do that. I'm going to school. I was selling sweets, fudge that my grandmother will make, tamarind balls, guava cheese, all those things coming from the land, and you get a little container and you sell it and you bring home the money. But you couldn't go further than that because you have the innovation, but you don't have the training. A lot of our farmers in Grenada, they grow a lot of nice crops, but the business aspect of it, nobody's telling them that. And if we don't have it, we will just be producing on the front line, but we cannot see, are we?
Would you believe that is also one of the reasons why, of course, the various sectors like tourism and all of these, we don't see, and especially people who do that for the purpose of for business, we don't see that growth with people for that growth in a Grenadian economy. Do you think that reason because folks haven't had that correct training of getting it beyond where they want it to be?
Of course, you learn to cook and you learn to make all this craft and so on. But because you learn it from your parents. But to get out of that little box you're in the village there, it takes much more than what you learn from your parents. So you don't want to be jack of all trade. You're producing on the front line. There is somebody that could develop the specialty of packaging. There is somebody that can help you do the labels. There is somebody that can transport it out to the market for you. And there are other people who is in Grenada and have connection with the international market. That's where getting it out of Grenada. But your skill and talent is in production on the front line. But if you don't develop the other aspects of the business, then you continue just remaining on the production line there. Going wrong.
Where the vision of the government comes into play into this?
That is where we want to go, and that's why people have to subject themselves to training in a lot of different fields, because what you're doing there have the potential. It has the potential to be boom.
Incentive is also a strong word we could put into this. Because the incentives, from the government part. What is the incentive that government like to offer individuals to develop themselves more?
But we have a number of programs that we are giving people incentives. Let's take the creative economy, for example. We have 3 different aspects in the program where we give you a grant. In the Ministry of Tourism and the Community Development Tourism, we have $75,000 grant we give to you. If your business is going good or you want to start a new business, boom. That's a big start, $75,000. So you must subject yourself to the level to training and growing. We also have programs where we give soft loans, 1% interest. We give you 7-11 years to pay it back. That's what the government is doing. And we are working with the Grenada Development Bank to help people in those different aspects. So we do have a lot of programs where people can apply for. But first and foremost, you must subject yourselves to the conditions because we want it to be successful. We do not want to waste $75,000 of taxpayers' money. And that is a little tricky, but I must say the applications are coming in. Everybody would not get through at the same time, but we are also making sure that these programs are accessible to the population. But not making it difficult.
But is there a follow-up option of part of this too?
Sure.
These individuals borrow the monies to develop whatever they want to develop.
No, we're not giving you $75,000.
Is there a follow-up option? Because we always say getting the monies and doing anything about it.
No, we're working with you, so we're not giving you $75,000 in a blank check and close our eyes on you. We're working with you. What you want to do? You want to develop your taking photos and so on. You want to get top of the line cameras and computers. Get the invoices. Bring them in. We pay the money directly to the supplier. So we make sure that the product is there. We follow up with you because if you want to expand, if we start you off on $75,000 and you want to expand and you're going to employ 10 people, why shouldn't we assist you? But we will be working with you, holding your hand and
making sure that you're
very serious
and that's it grow at the same
That's the point. And we will not, if your business is $60,000, we will not give you $75,000. But it's $150,000 and we give you $75,000. That's a start, and it means that you invest in your own interests and your own savings in your business. So we walk along with people. We don't just mobilize them, find them, and give them money.
All right. I mean, as a nation, we get into 51 years. Sometimes you want to see a difference in how folks move forward as a country growth. We watch other countries. I know we don't want to be like every other country. I always think we as Grenadians are supposed to be uniquely ourselves, even though and yes we are. But sometimes I think as a country, I'm not seeing that growth in terms of how individuals should be moving up. Sometimes I get that feeling that we are in that stagnant waters.
No, I don't think we are stagnant. I think we're
no, but sometimes you see
it appears.
It appears in that picture. Maybe we don't see it, but it appears that it's just the same thing that evolved.
Yes, I get you.
I was thinking, as 50 years, as 50, and now we're the 51st. I should see more of what we are as a people. You know where I'm coming from.
Well, I'm going to tell you. I have learned over the years that there are tangible things and intangible things. I remember a couple of years ago, or maybe a decade ago, all I done in Grenada is construction. And everybody say, well, things moving on. Those are tangible things. Those are things you can see. Over the last couple of years, we have introduced free education in Grenada. People may want to say it's intangible, but you know the impact that free education can have on the development of a country?
Yes.
I mean, when you look at what men like Errol Burrows, Fox Bonham in Guyana, you look at Eric Williams in Trinidad, those guys declared since in the 50s, from primary to secondary school is free education. Compare their society with our society today. And those are sometimes when those things are happening, nothing is really moving, as people may say. The issue of pension. I mean, people literally cry when they realize that for the last 4 years, I was a top public servant, had a vehicle. I retired and I slumped back into poverty. When we announce this thing, people literally cry. Their life has been transformed. Now the public servants who are looking forward to retire 2 or 3 years ago, they put out extra. The whole demeanor, the whole body, their minds are relaxed because they were worrying, what will happen to me in the next 2 years when I will only be receiving a little pittance from NIS based on the contributions. So those we have to look at those areas of developing areas also, because the development of your people is key. If you don't develop your people, no matter what you do with the construction, it will not help the nation. And just to give you a scenario, in 2007 I went to the stadium first time when the stadium opened for the World Cup cricket. And you know what it is? I went downstairs and some of the toilets was literally broken. People just rip off the seats. People drink, they just smash the bottles there. I saw those things happening. When the traffic light came to Grenada, guys was literally driving through the traffic lights. Because sometimes what we do, We have developments within the society, but if your people is not developed, they will not be able to utilize it in the best possible way. So development of infrastructure, if you don't develop the people with it, I call it superficial development.
Yes.
If you develop the people side by side with it, that is development of your country, and that is where we have to go for the development of Grenada into the future. Develop your infrastructure and develop the minds of your people. And the minds of your people must be developed to suit the economy and the demands of your country.
And it was directly where my question was going to go, because you see all of the development, but as you said, the folks don't understand the reason for the development.
That's the point.
And you have to understand the development. You as an individual, you have to understand, if I'm going to be using a computer node, I'm supposed to have that knowledge to use that computer. Not just having them and don't have the knowledge to use them.
And it's not only the computer. No child should leave secondary school without being master of the keyboard.
Yeah.
You should be a typist. Every single person in Grenada, because everything you have to do.
That's where the world is, yeah.
I mean, 5 years ago, if I come into GBN, you'd have seen me with a big file in my hand, with all the different papers. And when you ask a question, shuffling through papers.
And you keep shuffling.
You know, if you ask me any question, in regards to the program for tomorrow, even I switch my phone, I open it, and I have the program right here.
And you view what's going on.
And you view what's going on. So that is where the world is now, and Grenada have to move with the times. And therefore, if you want to move with the times, you have to spend a lot of money on the development of the minds of the people. At the same time, your roads, your airport, your seaports, your hospitals, all those things have to be taken care of, but they must be hand in hand.
Yes, that mesh, as you would say. We drew for break. Let's take it again. Of course, we're moving up to 20 minutes before the top of the hour. For the next segment, we invite our listeners and viewers. We do have a question or two as we continue with the conversation here on Classic Radio GBN TV. Stay with us, folks. We come in.
On Sunday, February 9th, the St. Paul's Community Center will come alive with the St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza. It's an explosion of food, craft, exhibition, and art display with performances by Solid the Band, Tamara Songbird St. Bernard, Dash, Lion Pride Percussions, Japs, Jab King, Lisa McDonald, Sakina and the Alpha One Band, Conception Dance Theatre, Core Band Comancheros, and more. All the action starts from 12 noon. It's the St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza, a production of the St. Paul Sports, Cultural and Development Organization, and powered by Judah Sound System.
Come and see for yourselves. Don't be all what we sell. Want the country and tell.
Love Fest. Who single? Who taken? Who looking? We want to know, and we're going to find out. February 15th is all about Love Fest. Quarantine Point is the place to be. Boys here alongside the Bad Squad Band going to be live and in living colors, up close, personal, and very intimate. So make sure and get your tickets right now. It's only $100, but if you're coming in couples, it's $180. So make sure and get our tickets right now. Ladies, it's all about you, right? But you don't want everybody to come out. Single people, married people, everybody couple up. Just come out, man. We're going to have a good time, right? Love Fest is a place to be.
Get ready to celebrate Grenada's independence with style and pride. It's Grenada at 51 with Minister Andy Williams and the St. George's Baptist Church. The Pure Grenada Independence Concert.
Grenada, you're nice.
Saturday, February 8th at the Monrouge Playing Field from 6 p.m. Featuring an incredible lineup of talent. Enjoy performances from the legendary Ajamo, Randy Isaac, Sour Serpent, Rootsman Kelly, Valley Ned, and Young Song. Plus the amazing Sabrina Francis, Laura Lisa, Lion Pride Dancers, and playwright Francis Urias Peters, all backed by the KOS Band.
And the best part,
This concert is absolutely
Welcome back once again, listeners, viewers. Welcome back to the program. It's To The Point, Classic Radio GBN TV. Before we get into taking those calls, I want to talk. There's still more events to come. There's of course Victoria. There's the Grenville Extravaganza coming up. We didn't talk much of that. Myself and the senator, of course, we took a lot of conversation away. We took the conversation away from you just a wee bit, but it was good convo. So let's hear more about let's talk about the Grenville Extravaganza.
So
before we move.
Grenville is Thursday evening.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow evening. That's an event that we always do. It's always very well received, always fun. People look forward to that. So it's at the bus terminal. We start with a flambeau walk from the Deluxe Cinema at 6:30 around Grenville into the bus terminal, and everything will kick off then.
Yeah.
Again, they will have lots of arts and crafts on display, lots of food, of course, and then cultural presentations, and ending the evening with fireworks.
Right.
So again, that is a really always a very good event. We always do that in partnership with SADO, so that there's lots of input from St Andrews, from the parish of St Andrews and St Andrews artisans and so on. So again, looking forward to that. So come out and have fun tomorrow evening at the Grenville bus terminal.
All right. Tell us about Victoria.
And so Victoria, last year, as part of the 50th anniversary, Victoria staged what they call Rise to Independence, and it is what it says it is. It's literally rise at 5:30 in the morning, go out on the streets of Victoria, and they'll have lots of traditional mass bands and so on. So Veku and so on will be out again. Lots of food and stuff, because we Grenadians can't go anywhere and not have food.
Breakfast will be served.
So breakfast will absolutely be on offer, and some cultural activities and so on. That starts at 5:30 and it will only go till 10. So that gives you plenty of time to go home, have a rest, and then get down to the stadium.
All right.
And remember, all the transportation on Friday is free. So you have no excuse not to be in the stadium, because when you had your fun in Victoria and you get ready to go, you go out and you get on a free bus and come down to the stadium.
All right. National Colours Day.
Also National Colours Day tomorrow. So, fly your flags, wear your colours, and let's, as a nation, come out and be proud as a people and wear our colours. So, yes.
In Victoria also, I think the masqueraders will be in the national colours.
Oh, yes.
So it will be a very colourful day, morning in Victoria.
I have a question. I'm not sure how you folks will be feeling in this. We look at these events that takes place from year to year for independence, and they seem to go on a routine format. Tell me, what are the plans that the committee putting? Maybe you look at it last year's, the year before, or maybe from our 49th, or 50th, now or 51st. What are the real plans to develop these events? To spur the interest of the Grenadians, especially the younger Grenadians. And we lose interest in things quick, the younger folks.
Yes, that's true.
There are older folks who may hold on to the traditional aspects of things and so forth and flow with it. But they get into a time where they'll not be able to participate anymore for various reasons. But there always have to be aspects of it that will encourage young people of wanting to always be part of our independence, show their patriotism. You understand? What are those? I'm sure that there's always going to be that brainstorming of when you folks come together and thinking of ways of improving and bringing that attraction of wanting young people to be part of it. What's the I mean, as a minister, and of course you've been the head of the committee also. Tell us what's your take on that?
Well, certainly it's a question we asked ourselves this year as a committee. What can we do differently? Because also trying to maintain a standard and a quality and the standard and quality that people saw last year. How can we enhance what we do? How can we engage more people? And I think one of the things the minister doesn't know is that we actually getting to the point where we feel like the National Celebrations Committee cannot just be a committee that comes 2 months before an event and then try to organise. It needs looking at how we can make that more of a kind of a permanent thing, because we have National Heroes Day, we have Thanksgiving, we have Independence. Can we maybe have something that we do at Christmas? Can we have something we do at Easter? So does that mean that the National Celebrations Committee has to be developed? Again, this is a question we haven't really discussed yet, but this is something the committee community itself has been grappling with. How do we do something that's going to be more engaging and bring more people into the fold, so to speak? That's partly why we partnered with Rise to Independence this year, because that was a new activity. So we felt, let's see how we can help to develop that. This year we also partnered with the Steel Band Association on Pan on the Sand. And our collaboration with them enabled them to enhance what they were able to do. So that's something, again, we would want to look at for the future, because obviously Steel Band, that's our culture, that's us, that's part of our tradition. So again, if we can work towards enhancing and embracing that more and opening that up more to our young people. I mean, I went to Pan on the Sand, and the number of children, little ones, playing the pan, it's just so exciting to see. And we want to continue that, because, we're not all going to be here forever. So, these
I'm going to be here.
Good for you, Jesus.
I'll be here for the close to the next 50.
I'm not sure I'll be here for the next 50, so I'm not even saying that. But you know what I mean? It's just like, it's about developing and embracing and growing our young people to take over from us. So yes, we're thinking about how we can develop and grow the product. This year we also have, which we don't hear about much, but we also have a history bowl competition going on with the primary schools in 7 districts. So in fact, the 7 districts have had their competitions within the districts. So we're now getting the finalists, and the finals will be held on the 20th of February at the Annex at the Trade Centre. So this again it's all about independence. So it's all about getting our young people to learn more and more about independence and doing it in a fun way. So they're competing against each other, and then you'll have the finals and you'll get your winners, and so again it's about trying to build more and more what we can offer. And again, next year we would be looking to improve again, enhance again, and bring in other potential activities.
But also, it's only last week I held a talk with a very important gentleman in Grenada, and I said to him, you have to get involved in our cultural activities. And the way I wanted to get involved, because you have the skill, the expertise, and the talent, is to help us produce our products. We have to think seriously of just putting on a show per se and getting an artist to come on the stage. The activity must be properly produced. And there comes the point. If you playing jab by just putting on some more clothes and going tongue and get yourself black, and you continue doing that for the next 20 years, the jab ain't going anywhere. If we don't institutionalize it, if we don't develop lessons and stories while you are playing during the carnival season, our culture will not develop. And therefore, the activities we are having for independence must be modernized, so to speak. I remember one of the years you went to the stadium and the police band was playing the parade, and we had the guy leading the parade who had this skill to do all kind of funny dancing and all this kind of thing. It's the same parade of the band, but what you have there is a new aspect of it, and that is how we have to develop our products and develop our talent. So I'm having discussion with the gentleman to see how I could get him to do so, to at least lend us 2 of his latter years in his life, and to help us develop our products, not only around carnival time, but Independence celebration, Heroes Day celebration, all those different things. It cannot be just the routine thing year after year. There must be a different way of doing things. The modern people don't see eye to eye with us, the young people, but they have a point, and the point must be brought forward, and we must assist them and make them part of it.
Create that feeling that encourage me of wanting to
creativity.
That is so true. We do have a first caller. Let's take our first caller this morning and see what the caller has to offer. Caller, good morning, you're live.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings to you. I guess I trust they can hear me well.
Yes, dear.
Yes, we can.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I feel really good to hear coming through from you, I guess, with all alacrity and exuberance. The promotions of the fete and the parties and the shows and the eats and drinks and whatnot and whatnot. Of course, that is the quote-unquote tradition, but I have a different understanding of tradition, is that the key to tradition is not the tradition itself, but the purpose and source of the tradition. I hope you're gathering where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
We claim to be independent, and my understanding is that independence here is not simply that capacity to self-sustain your personality or the country. I see it, and it is clearly established when you talk of the independence of a country, the political independence. That's establishment of sovereignty over your nation, country. But we know very well, Mr. Thomas, and what's the lady's name there? That
Alexis.
Today, 51 years, we cannot produce the documentation that gives faith, political legitimacy, legal authority, nor validity to the quote-unquote independence that we're celebrating. And it surprises me, as a matter of fact, I am extremely befuddled by the fact that no one is taking it seriously into account. Question, therefore, shall we, the people of Grenada, and when I speak of Grenada, I speak of the 32 islands, keys, and so on, in our archipelago, will we or can we expect to have, on the day of the celebration Friday, the proclamation of the quote-unquote Independence Act, and of course, that Constitution Act? Can we sit and depend on that this year? This is my concern. Do have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen, for what it's worth.
Thank you, caller. Thank you
very much. Well, I'm hastened to say that is a road that we have to walk at some point in time. It's a journey that we started in 1974, and we have been continuing to walk that road. The ultimate destination, I cannot say here when it will be. It may be in my time, it may not be in my time. We have made several attempts, at least 2 attempts to do a referendum to see how we can change the constitution and amend the constitution. And all those steps are steps in the direction where we want to go ultimately. We may say that we have political independence, but we're so dependent and there is so much interdependent in the world today in regards to your economy, your culture. I mean, we all working together, and the closer the world is becoming a one village, it makes it nice for we to work together and in the interest of our people. Wherever you go, wherever the Prime Minister goes these days, we talk about memorandum of understandings, we talk about signing agreements and so on, because we want to share what we have with the people in the other parts of the world where they don't have what we have. And we also want them to share what they have. There's so much, when these days you travel, and maybe on top of our agenda, we're asking for scholarships because we want our people to be trained. And we don't have the kind of institutions that we would like to have to train our people. Other parts of the world have it, and we have to utilize it. So it's a journey, and I agree with the caller, it's a journey that we have to walk. When we're going to get to the final destination is a matter of time.
Time will tell. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you and to your guests.
Good morning.
And I want to take the opportunity to wish everyone a happy 51st anniversary of our independence.
Thank you.
And not the anniversary of our 51st independence, as I heard in a public announcement earlier on. But I think that it's a good thing. I appreciate what is being done, and I can sense some coming together for people in a patriotic way. The unity is very much a good thing. I went to Satet, as we saw. I guess you saw me, sir, on Saturday night.
Yes, I did.
Which I do every year. I tend to be up there, so I go there. And I was pleased, because the last time I went there, I think the time before the last, I was appalled because the Back in Time band was asked to remove their red shirts, which is a neutral color. It doesn't represent any of the main parties today, and they were coerced to put on a green shirt. So the band was played in green. And I thought that was so despicable. And that year, but I'm happy for the camaraderie and the unity which we're seeing displayed around this time. I have a concern about the calypsos, though, and the judging. As a former teacher yourself, we don't call a calypso a composition for no reason. It is a composition. It has to tell a story. And there is a theme provided. The theme is independence. So I don't see how someone writes a calypso about the judging of the last independence calypso competition. Not about independence, the judging of the calypso competition, not about independence. And still get so many points. They missed it theme completely. So I think there is a problem with our understanding of English, our teaching of English in our schools, the writing of compositions, and the understanding of a theme. And it's a bad thing for us, because not only the calypsonian seems to be off, but the judges also seem to be off. And but the quality was high. The camaraderie was good, and it's something that I think is good for our country at least once every year, which we hope will keep, going through a bit longer during the 12 months of every year. Keep up your good work. It's wonderful, and let's hope everything goes well for Friday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. And anything in response to the caller?
No, well, I think I endorse what he has said there. One of the problems we have, though, I'm not too sure if the committee stipulated that they must sing on the theme per se. We asked for a composition, but if that is the case, maybe I will take the blame that the theme came out a little too late for the calypsonians, because a lot of calypsonians their composition is maybe 6 months ago, so you do not want to put them under that pressure. But I think the show was the camaraderie, and the show was fantastic. It was excellent.
All right.
Yeah, just to say that the theme is we do ask them to compose to the theme, and obviously we're not asking them to repeat the theme word for word, but I mean we need to look. We're looking at development, transformation, and unity. And I think maybe I heard one or two songs. I think Papa Jerry actually had it. The theme within felt that there was the theme within there. So I think one of the things that for me may have been disappointing is that we did not hear enough that really reflected the theme. Although there was some very, very good.
All right.
songs.
We do have a caller, which may be our final caller for the morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, that's the kind of guesses you need, man. People who could speak and be nice. You don't need no MFA and this kind of people.
Caller, have a good morning. Have a good morning. Take it. Have all the best goes out to you. We get to the stage of the morning where we're going to have to take a wrap for our program for today. I want to thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you very much,
before we take a wrap for today?
Well, just to encourage people to come out on Friday, have a good time, go to the other activities, Grenville and St. Mark's, but come out on Friday and utilise the free buses. Come and be, part of the celebration as one nation, one people.
GT, I must say that it was a pleasure being here this morning, and I want to tell the nation that I will be meeting with the celebration committee soon after the celebration finished by the end of February, for we to discuss and plan what we will be having in store for next year, because we want to take this celebration at a level where our friends in the diaspora can know exactly what is happening in 2026, and they can prepare themselves very early to be part of it. This is something we want for Grenadians here, home and abroad.
All right, great. And as I said, I just hope that as it continues the independence celebration continues to happen every year, we see a growth in it.
Definitely.
That encourage, getting young people wanting to come out.
Definitely.
Not just stay home or go to another event and not come to the stadium. Mm-hmm. That's what I would like to see our independence be like. My 15 or 20-year son or daughter should say, before I want to go to the stadium because it's our independence. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because it got to the stage where young people they seem to be getting a bit of a careless to want to attend these events for some reason or the other. So that's what I'd like to see. I want to thank you both once again. I've been on the program. Hope to see you coming back some more, Minister. A whole lot.
Once I'm invited.
In a different capacity, we have a more conversation.
Appreciate it.
So until then, have a good one, and
thank you very much
for the rest of the day.
Thank you, GT, and happy
independence to both.
Thanks, and same to you.
All right. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for this edition Up to the Point. Join me again tomorrow for another edition. Let me say goodbye.